Yo, this is the final episode for the BPC 2K25 Loopstation category. We have TMY versus Little Phil. This was actually one of my favorite finals of the entire BPCs because it was such a difficult decision to judge. Because while watching these videos, when I first watched them, I had the winner in my head, and then as I was continuing to watch it, my decision changed a lot of the times to the point where I probably watched them around maybe 20 times. And it's crazy because you have TMY who has such like a musical, old school groove throughout his whole tracks, and then you have Little Phil who has his like cool, unique, technical atmosphere. Both of them completely original. It was super cool seeing how my first and second places in the wild cards ended up meeting together in the finals. Super sick battle from both of them and their opponents throughout the whole event. Um, and yeah, so like always, we're gonna watch the videos, talk about them, and then I'll finally explain who was my decision and why. So first we got TMY Symphony.
Loopstation competition against the brother Lill. Let's go. Feel my symphony. Feel my symphony. Feel my soul. Feel my symphony.
Okay, that was cool. Yeah.
You know,
So, um, I mean, as you can see, probably from the video, you're gonna see me head bopping a lot to this track, and yeah, it was really cool. The idea with the harmonies were so good. Um, and then I mean, if you've been to a couple of my judge streams or if you watch some of my analysis videos when it comes to Loop Station, or you just know me in general, me personally, not the biggest fan of autotune in some occasions because I honestly prefer raw vocals. I feel like if you're not that good of a singer and then use autotune and it still doesn't sound good, I feel like it's gonna mess you up a lot. But in this case, like I've heard TMY has a really nice voice, so even with the autotune or without autotune, I feel like it would have sounded good regardless. Uh, I do feel like the harmonies were sometimes a little quiet in the mix. Um, and then again, the same issue with the kicks that throughout the whole event, where I feel like there were some parts in the composition where the kick was a little quieter in the mix than everything else, but then it got better towards like the drops. Um, but yeah, everything else is really solid. Musicality wise, aside from those suggestions of and feedback, everything else was really good. Uh, Technical, uh, also good composition, not many timing mistakes, um, decent mix, showmanship. I mean, he did pretty good, and then the ending where he ended up by singing Little Phil's name, that was pretty cool. Um, Kind of reminds me of like Yasuid versus Josh Show when uh Josh Show had like started by singing that he had already used the previous round against him. It gave that vibe, which was pretty cool. I kind of liked it. And then yeah, like the average like head bopping, moving around. And then originality. I mean, honestly, both of them are pretty original. I remember they were. I feel like they were pretty close in being tied in the wild cards when in terms of originality. But I feel like yeah, Little Phil did kind of edge it out. But yeah, let's get into Little Phil's round, and then I'll explain the decision.
you know what? I'd rather be big empty than
That's really cool. It goes notes hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's cool. That's actually really sick.
Bass, devil, bass, devil, bass, devil, bass, devil, bass, devil, bass, devil.
Okay, that was also really sick. So what to say about Littlefield? I mean, this was really good. Um, Very technical. I liked how he was hitting those. He was like hitting that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, like that in the beginning was pretty cool with the harmonies and the drums. It was pretty sick. Um, in a subjective opinion, I kind of wish could have added some more lyrics into it. I feel like when listening to this for the first time, I was like, oh, at first I assumed he was gonna go into like some form of rapping or say some other lyrics aside from Bass Devil, because he gave off that vibe. Um, but yeah, that doesn't really take much out of a wow factor. I just kind of wish there was something a little more extra, you know. Um, and then terms of mixing, it was pretty good. There was just like one effect towards like the build up and drop that I don't know what it's called, but when like that, I didn't really enjoy that much. I feel like it didn't really fit into the track. But other than that, everything else sounded really good. But yeah, now it's time to get into the decision. You know, making this decision was a really difficult decision because since this is the final, my vote counts for whoever is the champion, right? And I knew from a fact that it wasn't going to be close, even with the final decision. I will admit it was a 5-0 decision, so it was a unanimous decision. Um, but it doesn't even matter because, in my opinion, even if it's a 5-0, a 4-1, a 3-2, and whatever, this doesn't take from the fact that the final is really difficult, very close to judge, and yeah, I don't really have too much to say. But yes, my vote did go to TMY, and he won on the unanimous decision. So he is a new BPC Loopstation champion. The reason why I gave him my vote throughout the whole event was because throughout the whole event he was just showing um, musical creativity, harmonies really good. Um, he gave that like old school style vibe that that's not really present as much in the loop station scene anymore. It's more cool EDM, other stuff. But the way he was like incorporating this like atmosphere, the musical atmosphere was very enjoyable from beginning to from the start to the end. So I feel like it was a very tough decision. Little Phil, on the other hand, like I said, there was some thing like that little thing that didn't really fit for me. But other than that, I like I said, I had to watch this multiple times. There was like times where when I was watching this, I was like, oh, maybe Littlefield's probably gonna get my vote for this. And as I was thinking, and I was actually writing down why I thought like Littlefield deserved it or why TMY should have taken it. But yeah, I'm happy with the outcome. TMY definitely deserved it. Littlefield definitely deserved to make it all the way as well. Everyone did amazing from the wild cards to the battles. And what's crazy is that this might not be the end of TMY and Littlefield for BPC because since they are the top two of this year for next BPC, they have the option to be a judge or they have the option to compete again as first and second seeds. So who knows? But yeah, next up are the solo battles. Even more tough decisions because it was 7 of us judges for the solos. So yeah, peace.